Hello, hello, Jeanne Marie Paynel here. Um, Tuning in on a Friday. So, I was trying to calculate, this is, I think, the fourth weekend since the stay at home order. As I was saying earlier, let me see here, sorry, I want to calculate. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, yes, the fourth Wednesday. Wednesday, what am I talking about? Friday. So my word these days has been discombobulated. I don't know about you, but these stay-at-home orders, the news, the energy, all of this has us a little discombobulated. So my word when I started the new year 2020 was aligned. That is my intent for this year. The year's not over. This is just a little hiccup. Um, but yes, I wanted to hop on today to just check in with you, see how you are doing, to share a little bit about what's going on here in San Diego. So I apologize, the sun is a bit much. Can you give me a thumbs up that you can hear me? I just want to make sure my sound is working properly. I'm not in my normal office space. We've been having a little trouble with the internet, so I thought I would come in here. And the sun is playing games with me, so uh, sorry about that. So yes, we are still in the thick of what will be called the COVID-19 pandemic of 2020. We are in a page of history right now. And it is important that we remember this, that we remember that this is just a moment in time. Kind of the same way that I talk to parents about, toddlerhood or infancy and such when we are at a loss as to what our children need and such. And it's always just a moment in time. So I'm saying this to you, but I think I'm also saying it to myself today to reassure me that this is a moment in time. It is a page in history. I think we will come out of this changed for sure. I do believe and have great optimism that we will change for the better, that we are being made aware of many different philosophical, emotional, social, spiritual um, kind of awakenings or understanding of ourselves. Because I think we've been asked to be introspective. I mean, here we are home, and I hope that you are safe at home, healthy, staying at home, protecting yourself, protecting your loved ones. But being asked to stay home, like I will admit I'm a pretty introvert person. I'm somewhat of a hermit at times, and I love being home. But when it is imposed on you and you do not have the choice to stay or to go out or all this, kind of makes it, makes it a different energy, different feeling. And this morning, for some reason, is harder than it's been all of these mornings. This is, like I said, this is my fourth week of being confined. So we self-isolated. We kind of took it upon ourselves to self-isolate because our family is in France. I'm in California, but knowing the news from Europe, it was like, okay, this is serious business. And like most everybody, when the news first came out, I was like, oh, this is just like a flu. What's the big deal? All of this, because I think, again, it's part of our human experience of going through these motions of maybe denial and, trying to make sense of it and all of this. But now I think you and I realize that this is a pretty harsh reality and that we need to be sorry, that we need to be very careful and vigilant so that we protect our first responders. Sorry, I'm trying to find a spot where I'm not going to be bothered with this sun. My apologies. I will not be sitting here at 10 o'clock. Uh, lesson learned, right? We're learning so much. So, one of the questions I have for you is, what do you want to remember, or what lesson do you want to remember or not forget from this time? I think this is an important question. I first heard Marie Forleo ask this question earlier this week, and I thought it was a really powerful one to really, because this time is making us aware of things that we take for granted, of maybe we're always saying we don't have enough time. Here we have time on our hands to do things. And I know some of you are challenged to have to continue doing your own work and having suddenly the work of your educators. Hello, Pat. Good to see you. The work of being, an educator at home. And so again, and I've said this before, please be kind to yourself. This is uncharted territory. These are unprecedented times, and we must really take good care of ourselves. And that is, we know that our stress level, our anxiety level, all of that dampers our immune system. So right now, our priority is to stay healthy. You need to stay healthy for yourself, for your family, for our first responders, for the healing of this planet. So that is your priority. You take good care of yourself. Sleep more, move, eat well. Don't worry about diets and this and that. Just take good care of yourself. That's all. That's, the loud and clear message. So I think I didn't introduce myself. Hi, I am Jeanne Marie Paynel. I am a parenting mentor where I really work with parents to help you let go of the overwhelm and to really help you raise independent and resilient children with ease. And I think right now we are being challenged to do just that because we need to be resilient. We need to be independent and creative and all of this with all that is happening. So here is our opportunity to show up for our children and to be a role model for them of what is resilience, what is, being confronted to a situation that is new and bothers me. Sorry. Uh, that is new and how we are going to take good care of ourselves. I think our children are watching us. They need us to model this for them. So really very important. So yes, that is what I wanted to say today and just be of support to you. So if you have any questions, let me know. I am here. I will be here every Friday morning until further notice, right? Because we don't know when this is going to pass. So I do have a question here that popped up. Hi, Chelsea. I have a question about siblings share a room. Do you recommend a 3-year-old toddler and an infant share a room? Can they still use floor bed? I'm worried about safety issues. Great question, Chelsea. So for those of you who might not know this idea or this concept of the floor bed, this is an idea that instead of using a crib for an infant and for young children, a crib being a container that we put our children in, a floor bed is a mattress or a low frame on the floor so that the child has a visual perspective of their room and have the freedom of movement. So this is where this question comes from. So Chelsea, I say yes, that a 3-year-old and an infant can share a room. Um, sure, you need to be concerned about safety, just like you would if they were alone in the room. So it's, important to let the 3-year-old know what are the boundaries, what are the kind of, what your expectations are. But I would definitely encourage you to have them share a room. I know I did that for my 2 children. They are 4 years apart, and I actually, um, when I came home from the hospital, I actually uh, had my second child, an infant, be in the room with her sister from day one. And this is something that had been recommended to me, actually had been recommended to my sister and such, also for the whole social emotional relationship with the children, that there wouldn't be so much jealousy if we put them together right away, because oftentimes we will have the older sibling in a room alone and we're taking baby in the room with us, and that can be a source of great jealousy. So that was very helpful for me. So yes, depending on how your room is, I would definitely, make a little corner, a little safe area for the infant with the floor bed, maybe a little barrier of some sort, so your 3-year-old, doesn't just go there, like maybe a little bookshelf, something, and then really be conscientious about setting the boundaries with the 3-year-old. But it can totally be done, and personally I would encourage it, as long as the entire room is safe, because that is the thing with the floor bed is, we have the crib, which we feel the child is safe in this container. Well, when we have a floor bed, the entire room becomes the container. So we need to be very mindful about that. So I hope that makes sense and is helpful. Alrighty. So I'm here for you. Please reach out if you have. You can come. Don't. I'm in the living room, so my son is wondering if he can come in, but. For what is it, 4 weeks ago, my husband and I were empty nesters, and now we're back to having one of our child home, which has been delightful. So that is a positive thing. My other child is actually in Ireland, so a bit far, but she is safe and all of that. So all is well. Okay, Pat has some questions here. Great. Your thoughts on how we can help parents with unusual times, of course. So these are questions, just a little intro. Pat is somebody who works a lot with parents in Thailand. So she does a lot of these Facebooks, but for Thai parents. And we've been working together for a while in just kind of, helping her support parents and encouraging her to do the wonderful work that she's doing. So these are questions from the parents she's working with. My 3-year-old son likes to sing. How can I be more support? Sing. Just sing along. That's wonderful. Let him know what a beautiful voice, and oh, I love your singing, and make up songs. Singing is a beautiful, beautiful way for early literacy. It's a beautiful way for language. The rhythm, the musicality of our language is beautiful. So just sing. Just tell the parents to sing and to not worry about saying, oh, I don't have a good voice or all of that, because the children love your voice and they love to hear you sing. So that would be my answer. How do I support? Is to sing, and also, maybe listen to different types of singing. So that's also a great way to give them awareness of, opera and duets and just what is it, what is it when they sing with no musical instruments? Sorry. Sorry, but it resonates. We don't have we don't have carpeting in our space yet, so it resonates. So yes, definitely sing, and then expose them to different ways of singing. Um, rhymes and all this, and get away from just, nursery rhyme or children's songs. It's sing what you want to sing, learn songs with them. It's great for the memory, all of that. So the way to support is just to go along with them. The other thing, 3-year-old spends time in the bathroom too long and didn't want to come out. What should I do? I don't know. Just, I mean, as long as they're safe, there's no reason, if that's where they're feeling comfortable right now, that is fine. I don't know. Uh, I would need to know a little bit more about this question too. Maybe they just need some alone time. That's fine. The third one, I am the primary care of my 2-year-old. I still have to work from home. Can I let her play and work at the same time? No, 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 no. This is what reality has asked us to do right now, is to work alongside our children. So this is about, setting boundaries of, I have some work to do, and what work are you going to do? Because anything that the child is doing is work. So, it's a puzzle, it's drawing, it's reading, any crafts, it's their work. So mommy is doing her work, or daddy is doing his work, and you're doing your work. And when we're both done, we can do something together. So definitely have something that you can do together once you're both working. But yes, definitely. And this is where I really encourage about setting up the environment so that the child is independent and can choose different activities on their own, and not need to ask you all the time, where is everything and all of that. So being mindful of setting up the work environment for the child and for yourself, and really having times in the day where you can work in parallel. I would encourage you to observe, when is that time of high concentration for the child, and kind of aim for that time, because we know we kind of, have waves in the day. And then, we have to, I was talking to some other parents the other day, we do have to kind of reassess our work times. It might be during nap times. It might be, once they've gone to bed, and things like that. It's kind of throwing us off a bit. So, but yes, definitely work in parallel. Great way of doing it. The next one is, my 3-year-old daughter likes to join neighborhood children while they were playing. They are older than her. They didn't want her to join. Every time she tried to go, they rejected her. I felt for her and didn't know what to do. What should I say to her, and what should I do? Well, I don't know where you are right now, but we're not supposed to be out playing with other children right now. So I think this is a great opportunity to be talking about, that we're staying healthy and safe, and that there's, we have instructions to stay. But otherwise, in kind of a normal situation when children are being rejected by other ones, I think it's important to just process the emotions. Like, oh, you must feel sad, or does that make you angry, or what would you like to say to them? Like, we need to empower them to have the words to be able to express those emotions to those children as well. To be able to say, hey, I really like you, and I want to play with you, so that there is, dialogue. Sometimes we do need to maybe intervene a little bit when when we have a younger child who's not quite yet expressing themselves, so that we can be the translator for the other children. But for me, I mean, I think it's, you have to be mindful that, is it really the child that is feeling something, or are you kind of projecting something, because you say, I felt for her, but maybe she's fine with it, right? So we need to gauge more of what's going on with her than kind of projecting our own, because at this age, children are pretty kind of egocentric at this age. They're not like super socializing and outgoing. They do parallel play and everything. So a lot of times we think like, oh my gosh, she doesn't have any friends or things like that, but it's just normal behavior for their development. So just being mindful of what you're projecting onto that. What else do I see? Okay, thin hint nin. Not sure I'm pronouncing it right. I have 3 different ages, 13, 7, and 5, with different interests. Yes, a little struggle with this pandemic. I encourage myself that I am not alone. Yes, this is definitely a tough one, and this is very important, and I promise to come back and do something more about family meetings. But this, I would really encourage you to set up a regular time. Now, it can be daily, it can be weekly. During this stay-at-home pandemic, and I don't know where you're calling in from, and I would love to know where people are calling in from, and what the situation is where you are. But we are being asked to stay home, at least here in California, and this is a great opportunity to have what we call family meetings, and maybe just do it on a daily basis. Family meetings, it's kind of when you're at work, you have little meetings of update of what's going on, who's working on what projects. This is a great opportunity to set that up in your home, to have a family meeting, to know, kind of take the temperature of how everybody is feeling, what they are planning to do, and ask for the support of your children, because the 13, I mean, all 3 of them are of age, but I would say the 13 and 7-year-old can definitely take on responsibilities and help you with certain things around the house. So definitely encourage that and give them some responsibilities throughout the day. So Myanmar, wow. How are things there? Do you have stay-at-home orders like we do here? What is the situation there? Be very interesting. Oh, okay. So Pat tells me that the child the 3-year-old who was in the bathroom too long, was actually taking a bath and play. I would just let them. I mean, especially these days when we have nowhere to go. Uh, I would personally, I'd stay in the bath and read a book, and for longer than I normally would. So I think we need to maybe give ourselves some grace and ease of what our expectations are, and kind of change those up right now, because here, I know in California, we are, like I was saying earlier, this is the 4th week of being in confinement, so the 3rd official week, but I think we have quite a few more weeks to go. So this is about, setting ourselves up to make sure we're taking good care of ourselves, make sure we're taking good care of our loved ones, and to be at peace with this time that, like I said, is just a page in history, and it is a moment in time, and it will pass. So yes, not much transmitting, but all are better. Stay at home. Good. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said earlier, I think I just needed to hear some of this myself. It's we have, I think our emotions go definitely up and down more these days, and I just wanted to share with you my support, my love, my encouragement, to take good care of yourselves so that we can stay healthy for ourselves, for the global family, for our first responders who are having to deal with a lot more than normal. And if we can alleviate that by staying healthy and to make sure to do some, basic self-care. And I know for me, one of the main one has really been to limit and to curate the news that I am taking in, because I realized that it was just way too much information at the beginning. My husband stays very informed, so I basically get my information from him, and I get my information from my friends and family. But I needed to manage that for myself, just to lower my anxiety and my stress level, because we know that that plays on our immune system. So staying healthy, I feel like I've been sleeping a lot more, or staying up late, or just it's like I said, a little bit discombobulated. So yes, you are very welcome, Pat, and very welcome, Si Binin. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Let me know on the replay where you're calling in from, and if you have any questions that I can answer around parenting little ones during this time. Alrighty, thank you. Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.